Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We are back. We are here. I hope that everyone had a really good Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving break. Currently, it is crazy snowing where I'm living right now, so it's like it feels so Christmassy already, and I'm like very much excited for Christmas, and I'm very much getting in the Christmas spirit already. But I instantly knew that I wanted to make this a while ago, ever since this movie came out. Whenever I saw it was coming out, because I really wanted to talk about it, and I'm a big musical theater person. I like musicals a lot. I've liked them since I was very young, and Wicked was one of the very first ones, which I'm sure a lot of people, if you like musicals, it's kind of a gateway. I mean, even people that don't like musicals like know Wicked. It's like one of the most popular musicals of all time. But it was definitely one of the first ones that like really got me into musicals. And so ever since I saw that this movie was being made, I was not actually, I'm gonna be honest, I was actually kind of hesitant about it. I wasn't really like, I remember like following kind of the production, and I also saw like the trailer for it whenever it first came out, and everything, but I was very apprehensive about it because recently a lot of movie musicals lately have not been, I'm just gonna say, the best, I would say, to be honest. I get kind of annoying. I'm kind of picky when it comes to movie musicals too, and especially lately, there's been this really weird pattern where like a lot of the movie musicals that have been coming out are like ashamed to be musicals, and they haven't been like promoting them as musicals, which I think is one of the biggest problems also, because there's a lot of people that don't like musicals. Um, and I think it's a really bad marketing strategy to just completely throw it under the rug if something is going to be a musical, because I don't know, it's like you're like not listening to your audience and you're like deceiving them basically, and I think it's not very intelligent. So I was very happy with what I saw, that whenever I saw like the promotions and stuff or in the trailers, that they were obviously promoting this as a musical, because Wicked is not just like a thing that you can just kind of like, it's not one of those musicals that you can like kind of try to play off it's not, because there's a lot of music and it's such a known show anyway. So that was one of the things that I was happy about, and I actually finally ended up seeing it a week or two ago. I think it was a week ago I saw it, and I was very much pleasantly surprised. I went in with kind of high expectations because I heard a lot of the buzz already, and I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought about it, and just like a little bit of a review, I guess. And I also wanted to do fan art anyway of these characters, so it was also kind of an excuse to do that. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's interested in this, but I kind of want to make this a series. I already kind of have a thing called My Love Of, where I talk about some of my favorite things. And I thought it'd be kind of be fun if I started talking about like, I don't know, just different things I like, and it also just gives me excuses to draw fan art of these things. So this might be a thing I try out. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just my opinions that don't matter much, so I don't know. Let me know your opinions in the comments if you want, about if you've seen this and what you think of it. But again, yeah, so I first was introduced to Wicked, I think in like, pretty sure it was like middle school. Or actually maybe even elementary school. And I remember being obsessed with the soundtrack like instantly. And I've unfortunately never gotten to actually like go see it in person. I've seen like bootlegs obviously and stuff, but unfortunately I haven't gotten to go see it in person, which I would love to go see it. But I was obviously like obsessed with the musical and the music. Like I freaking remembered like listening to it on repeat, and being a big fan. But yeah, like as I was saying, I will say, I think the things that I was most apprehensive about before I saw it was, I would say, I was instantly, whenever I heard that Cynthia Erivo was cast, I was ecstatic because I knew that she was going to be amazing. And I mean, spoiler alert, she freaking was. Like, I knew instantly when she was cast that she was going to be fantastic, because she's literally one of the best singers I've ever heard. And so I was not worried about. I've known more and more about Jonathan Bailey recently because he's been doing a lot of stuff And I was a big fan of, I still am a big fan of Fellow Traveler, so I was actually very happy that he was cast. I will say the one I was most nervous about was Ariana Grande, because I was kind of afraid that it was going to sound a little bit too poppy, because I have a word poppy to describe, which I know is probably like an annoying thing that people are tired of hearing. But you know, whenever you have a musical like this and it's so like fantasy and it's so like, it's such a quintessential musical, I was kind of afraid that she was going to go with the more like pop sounding, but I was very, very happy with her portrayal of Glinda. I thought she did a fantastic job. I was also very happy too that she really like blended into the role. Like I didn't see Ariana Grande when I was watching it. I saw Glinda, which I was very happy with, because sometimes whenever you have like really known people playing characters, you can kind of like only see the actor behind it. And so I was very, very pleasantly surprised about the fact that like that I did not have a problem with that watching this movie, and she completely transformed while playing that character, and I was again very, very pleasantly surprised. And I also thought that her acting was very good. I really loved I thought her comedic timing was very good. And again, I was like, I loved her voice. I thought she just such a good job with how she like, even just the way she pitched her voice in the movie and everything, I was very, very happy with. And then again, like as I was saying, I thought Cynthia Erivo was, I mean, again, I knew that she was going to be amazing, but she still surprised me actually, because like, again, like I knew her voice, and obviously, of course, like her voice is so freaking good. Oh my god. And actually, like going into the movie, I wasn't expecting to like get emotional, but I literally cried like 5 times watching. Like I literally kept crying. Like I remember I was just sitting there like, just, I don't know why I kept crying. I just, it like, the story I guess was just really affecting me in a way I wasn't expecting. And yeah, like I literally yeah, I was just surprised by that, because like I didn't go into it expecting to be as moved as I was, I guess. But yeah, no, and I was also though just so surprised too and happy with the way that she portrayed Elphaba too. She just brought such a, you know, she brought the strength that Elphaba has. She brought the intelligence. She brought like also though like the naive, like I don't even know if naive is the right word, because but Elphaba, you know, goes through a big change from Act 1 to Act 2, but she just brought this like sensitivity and beauty and hope and love into that character, and like compassion into that character so beautifully. And also just her voice is so like sweet sounding. I don't know if that makes sense, but it is like, oh, I love how she portrayed that character, and it made me appreciate Elphaba in a way I never had before, honestly. And I think she's gonna continue to be like, I don't know, like whenever I think about that character, I think she's kind of taken that role, honestly. I thought she's just so amazing and just so freaking stunning too in the movie. Oh my gosh, she is just so beautiful. I've had so much fun drawing her, and I'm gonna want to draw her in the future too, because she's just freaking stunning. And I just freaking adore her. I just thought she was just, oh, she's just so good. I like knew going into it that she was gonna be amazing, and she still freaking blew me away. And honestly too, like I honestly think that the strongest aspect of this movie was the characters. I think the actors, I thought all the casting was very good. Again, I thought Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero was also fantastic. He has so much charisma and so much chemistry with every single person he is on screen with. And he just like, even within like he doesn't have that much time on screen, but even with his limited amount of time that he's on screen, I thought he absolutely did an amazing job. And I'm excited to see how they do the rest of his character in the future. And yeah, I just thought overall casting was like fantastic. I really loved everyone. I thought they did a fantastic job. Another thing I wanted to talk about too was just something I was also afraid of going into it was the audio, because I knew that they did a lot of like on set singing and singing in real time. I think it's a mixture of like in studio vocals, but I know most of it I think was done live, and I was actually also presently surprised about that, because I was afraid that the audio mixing might be a little weird, and I think there's definitely some moments of it where you can kind of hear it, but I was afraid that it was going to be a lot more distracting. But I was actually pleasantly surprised that it actually wasn't nearly as distracting as I thought it was going to be. So I was also very happy about that, because that was another one of my worries, because you can have that problem a lot of the time. And audio in a lot of movie musicals I have kind of issues with, because I feel like so much of the time, I don't know what's going on, but it always sounds like either overly produced or like it's like too quiet and you can barely hear anything, and because of everything else that's being picked up if you're doing like live vocals. So I was actually very pleasantly surprised by that, also that aspect of it. And also just like, again, like I know everyone's been like making fun of like the cast in like interviews and stuff and everything, but I will say like the chemistry between Ariana and Cynthia I think is fantastic. I thought they just, you can tell that you know, their chemistry on screen, it really does like show, and you can feel that friendship and that growing friendship from the very beginning. And like just some of those moments that they have, like specifically at whenever they're doing the dance scene, that sequence, I mean, I was just like crying my eyes out during that sequence, because it's just, that chemistry was so good, and they really brought that to the screen, I thought, in a very good way, which I do think is one of the things that is very helpful when you're doing a movie adaptation, or if you're doing any sort of filmed performance of a show, because you are able to, you know, zoom in on their facial features, because that is the problem with musical theater, is it's so often, you know, you don't really get to see you know, the actors acting fully all the way, because, you know, it's so far away. And that is a nice, and you also don't really get as much subtlety, I don't think, too, from a lot of, like, if you're doing, like, on stage stuff, because, again, you have to act extra big when you're on stage, because it's so far away from everyone else. So that is the nice thing about having things filmed. And you can see, like, a lot more subtle, and there was a lot of moments, too, where it made me, like, there was a lot of acting decisions that made me appreciate these characters and the story more, because they are able to add more subtlety to it, and also more nuance within the performances on screen, in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I also really appreciated that. And it, again, just made me really appreciate the characters in a new way. And I think it's also great too, because whenever you go back to like the stage show, I think it also honestly just adds to it in a more interesting way. Another thing, I freaking adored the costuming on the show too. Specifically, Elphaba's outfits. I was obsessed with her outfits. Oh my gosh. Every single time she would put on a new outfit, I was obsessed with it. I loved it so much. I will say I was kind of disappointed with the fact that we didn't get some of other different colors from Glinda. It's such like a stupid like complaint that like it's not like an actual complaint I have. I do kind of wish though, like the iconic like yellow dress, for example, during the One Short Day scene where they're in the Emerald City and stuff. I was kind of sad we didn't get that, because it just pops off so nicely against everything else, but it is what it is. It's fine. That's like a really stupid complaint. But yeah, specifically Elphaba's outfits, I was obsessed with. I love the way that they did the outfits on the show. And it was also just so cool too to see, like, I wasn't expecting this also, but like, I was not, I mean, I know I still like ads and everything, but I was still shocked with how big the production was on this. Like watching it in the theater, especially because it's on such a big screen, I was like kind of shocked. I was like, whoa, because it's like, it's so cool like going into this world and like seeing it fully shown, and seeing it be fully like made and everything, because usually I'm used to it on like a stage where, you know, they can't have like crazy, you know, you can't see everything, and just seeing the depth of this world and how big it is, and also just like the world building too, and like the Easter eggs with like Wizard of Oz was actually really cool. And it was just so cool seeing them in these fully made like environments, and like how big everything is. It like, I was like, whoa. It like, I don't know, I was kind of like fangirling a little bit, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so cool seeing these characters in these actual spaces, so fully made. And I really liked the design a lot of the sets. I was happy that they did a lot of stuff on location. I think if I had any complaints about this movie, it would be just, you know, I'm not a huge fan of CGI. I'm very much more of a I like practical effects a lot, and I look for that in the stuff that I watch. And, you know, I understand why they decided to go with the more CGI route, and, you know, again, it's a stupid complaint. It didn't, like, fully ruin the movie for me for anything, but I was like, there was a lot of CGI in the movie, which again, I understand why, because I know practical, I think takes, I don't know if it takes more time or not, but that'd probably be my one complaint, I would say. But yeah, overall, I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this movie. It really shocked me. It's one of the best movie musicals I've seen in a long time. Long time. There's not been a lot of good movie musicals, and I'm hoping that this will set a new example, because you can tell that it was made by people that care about the source material, which, shockingly, a lot of people don't seem to understand that is usually one of the biggest reasons why a lot of adaptations don't work, is because it's just for money, which, to be fair, this movie also probably is a money grab, let's be honest, but I appreciate the fact that they tried. The bar is on the ground, but it's true, and I also just appreciate the fact that they fully embraced it as a musical. If you don't like musicals, this is probably not the movie. You're probably not going to enjoy this movie, because they fully go into it. And I also really appreciated how whimsical they let it be. It really did. I was like, whoa. I was kind of taken back. I was like, whoa, I'm watching a musical, and it feels like a musical, and I appreciate that. I don't like whenever, things are overly, things are afraid to be what they are, which I think is a big problem with a lot of movie musicals recently, especially with how they've been promoting them and stuff, hiding the fact that they're musicals. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. So I was very happy with what I saw, though, and I'm actually gonna go see it again soon anyway, so I'm excited for that. It'll be fun. But yeah, for these little drawings I decided to do, I wanted to do that first one that I did with Alphaba and Glinda. Is actually technically kind of a redraw. It's all I ever freaking do. It's kind of a redraw of an older drawing that I did. It's actually kind of a redraw of a redraw, because I did that similar thing back in, I think, 2018, and then months ago, I think early this year, I kind of redrew it, and then I decided to redraw it again, but make it look like Cynthia and Ariana. And yeah, I'm really happy with how those turned out. I thought they turned out really cute. It's so much fun drawing Alphaba's skin, and also her hair. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I also wanted to do Fiera too, because I really liked the way he looked in that scene, and I was really playing around. I've also been really playing around. I've been doing a lot of digital stuff recently, and I've been playing a lot around with my style with digital art, and I was incorporating it into this stuff that I was working on, and I was having a lot of fun. Also, I was trying to play around a little bit more with more fun facial expressions and stuff too. I didn't push them as much as I probably could have, but I was still, I was playing around and having fun. Also, this marker that I'm using right now is literally dying. It's crying for help. It looks so streaky. I promise it ends up getting more fleshed out and everything and finished. And definitely in the future too, I really want, anytime I ever draw Alphaba, I'm gonna be basing it off of Cynthia Erivo's performance and her look, because I love it so much. I love how she looks. I actually really wanted to draw more of her face and everything, but I ran out of room on the page, unfortunately. That's still something I'm really trying to get used to with this sketchbook, because previously I was working in a much bigger one. And I'm not used to working in such a small one, and it's been kind of hard having to fit everything in that I want to fit in. But it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I do love, though, I'm using the Elo sketchbook if anyone's curious, by the way. I do really love how marker goes down on the sketchbook, because it's just so smooth. And I feel like it makes it blend really well, and it's so satisfying to do. It's really, really relaxing. And I have a lot of fun. And yeah, I think I was just I had a really good time working on this too. I felt very warmed up, I think, when I was at this point too. So I was really happy with everything, and I'm really happy with how her facial expression turned out on this one, especially because I am kind of not very good with facial expressions. I've been really trying to, I need to try to do more and practice more with them, because I kind of just do the same face a lot, and I want to practice more with more interesting looks. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. And I also decided I kind of wanted to incorporate both, just show a little bit of Glinda's relationship with Fiera and Glinda, because I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I am like, I actually really like both of them. Like, I low-key, I ship Glinda and Elphaba, but I also ship Glinda and Firo, to be honest. So I kind of love all of them together. Maybe they should just all get together. Like, why not, you know? I think it'd be fun. I wouldn't be against it. I'm not sure. Is that like an unpopular opinion? Because I know like a lot of people ship, I think both. I've seen a lot of people shipping obviously Glinda and Elphaba, which I fully get to and I understand because yeah. And I feel like it was like even more, I was gonna say it felt even more pushed in the movie, but you know what? No, it's always been that way. That stuff has always been very much like, I think, I'm not even sure if they mean to hint it. I'm not sure if it was by accident. I feel like it was on purpose though, because I could feel their chemistry, okay? I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm definitely though gonna be doing more fan art in the future of these characters because I just love drawing them. And it's also just so fun too because I love the contrast between Glinda and I just said Glinda. The contrast between Glinda and Elphaba, like their color schemes are just so satisfying to do together and they're just so cute and I love it a lot. Yeah, and I was also I'm actually really happy with how the hair turned out too because she has like micro braids in, which I also love that choice so much. Her hair is just so beautiful. And that was like a lot of fun to try to do too. And I'm happy with how they turned out also. I apologize about the camera quality right here. It looks really weird and I was trying to fix it, but I don't know, my lighting was like, I don't know, it looks like cloudy for some reason. I don't know what was going on here. And this like hairstyle that I decided to give her with like the little bun half up, I think it kind of looked like that in the movie. I was looking at a reference, but I think I kind of played around with it a little bit more because I don't think it was exactly how it looks here. And I was completely just kind of winging this part. I think it looks fine. But yeah, I ended up going in afterwards. I didn't really show this part because it was not that interesting to watch, but I ended up going in with colored pencil, with a brown colored pencil, and adding a lot of the detail with that too, and I'll showcase that more at the end, hopefully. But yeah, overall, I really love just her face is so cute. I love her. Really like how this turned out. I will say that too. I think her hair turned out a little bit weird here because I think on the one side it ended up being a little bit more big than I wanted it to. I kind of wanted it to be wrapped over her shoulder, but I kind of messed that up. But it still looks cute, so I'm okay with it. I ended up too deciding to go in with some black colored pencil too to just do some. I usually like to keep the outline like one color, but I usually will go in with a slightly darker color to add detail in with like usually the eyelashes, usually like the nostrils, and just like the corners of the mouth and just little areas where I like to add more little details to accentuate things a little bit more. And yeah, here I'm playing around with the hair a little bit more, and I'm adding the flyaways because why am I not adding the flyaways? I think it just adds so much, and it looks really cute that way. But yeah, I'm really happy with this like little drawing. I thought it turned out really cute. This drawing might be my favorite out of all of them that I did though. Because I always am trying to play around with not chibi, because this isn't really chibi, but more of like a simplistic style, I guess. And I really, really love how this one turned out. I thought it was, I'm really, really happy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I cannot talk. I'm really happy with it. I really love how their faces turned out. And I was actually really struggling with Glinda's face. I've been drawing faces for so long, and it's really what I draw the most of. And I still have such a hard freaking time doing profile faces. Like, I don't understand why. I literally am always struggling with it, and every time I have to draw a profile, I like get nervous because I suck at it. I'm so bad at it. I need to like just practice a whole bunch, I guess. And like, I still like all the time will mess up drawing faces, and it's really what I draw the most of. And it's so frustrating to me because I'm like, what the frick? You would think after drawing these freaking faces for years, I would eventually, you know, maybe be kind of good at it, but no, I still freaking suck at it. Sorry, it frustrates me, but I'm actually happy with how her face turned out on this one, so it's good. But no, I'm so happy with how this turned out. And I was very loose with like the way I colored it too. I wasn't doing like crazy shading or anything like that. I still really want to play more around with color when it comes to like shading and stuff, and adding more interesting color and dynamic colors in. Which I was kind of doing with the Fiora one. I added some purple into some of his shadows, but I didn't want to include that in this one because I wanted it to be a lot more light. I didn't want to add too much dark to it. And I was also kind of just winging the skirt. I was just like playing, I don't know. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm actually happy with how it turned out. And yeah, I just really love how this one turned out. I thought it looks really cute. And I was happy I was able to fit in a full body one in here, which again is kind of the thing that sucks with this sketchbook, is like to fit a full body into this, it has to be like a more simplified character, because you cannot fit like full body stuff in here really at all. It has to be a lot smaller, which is kind of unfortunate. And for me, whenever I draw smaller, you know, a lot less details are shown. So you can't really do like full body, like very, very, you know, detailed stuff like I kind of wish I could do more of in the sketchbook, because it ends up making me just kind of go to like default stuff and like do like bust shots and stuff, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And my anatomy sucks still, so I need to keep practicing that this new year, because oh my gosh. Yeah, and also like the dresses and the outfits here were loosely like Glenda's. I kind of like just did my own thing. Alphaba's was also like the top I was inspired by in the movie, but I don't think she wears a long skirt like that in the movie. But I could be wrong. She might. I don't. Or like, actually, no, I think she does. I don't know what the frick I'm talking about. I'm also just so happy with how Alphaba's hair turned out in this one. I thought her hair turned out so freaking cute. And I also wanted to include like a little bit of color from each of their characters into the other one. So I put like the little pink flower in Alphaba's hair, and I put the little green beret. That's not the right word. Clip? I don't freaking know. Into Glenda's hair, because I thought it would be cute. And yeah, that was my little ship art that I decided to do, which I'm probably gonna do more of in the future because I really like them. They're cute. And yeah, I had it like Alphaba like daydreaming about both of them and by panicking. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah. No, I hope everyone enjoyed this video though. I had a lot of fun making this little spread, and I hope yeah, let me know what everyone else thinks if you've seen Wicked. If you care, if you don't, let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.